Hey, how are you? My name's Phil. Welcome back to another edition of Yoshi Keeps Me Employed. We officially have the matchmaking update. It's here. We've got it. I gave this a quick read through already, but I'm going to be reading through it out loud so that I can hopefully explain anything that might be confusing to people who haven't played this type of game before, or just people who don't want to read this themselves. This update includes a revamp to how the matchmaking system works, as well as the introduction of a new matchmaking mode. You can now choose this mode to play in standard mode, unranked, or the new ranked mode introduced in this update. Pretty freaking sick. We actually officially have a split between standard and ranked mode again. We had this like a couple of years ago, I think, but they decided to undo it for quite a bit there because they realized that there really wasn't that much of a reason to have it that way, and they just put everyone in a quote-unquote ranked mode for quite a while there. Standard mode. Standard mode provides a lower stakes way to play Deadlock with friends without worrying about adjustments to your rank. There are no restrictions on party size or skill spread. You can also play in this mode to practice heroes you're less familiar with, as the matchmaker will adjust the game, puts you in to account for your experience with that hero. This is pretty close to more or less what they tried to do for quite a bit there, at least as far as I saw. And as far as I heard, is that there was more or less hero-based matchmaking that would put you up and down based on how much skill you have with certain heroes, which is pretty cool. It's a great way to make standard mode feel a bit more low stakes and a bit more of a, I can actually stop and learn my hero without trolling in ranked. And when everything is ranked, nothing is ranked, and everyone just kind of feels bad. But as for actual ranked modes, let's see. Oh, they changed all the icons. Oh, they changed all the icons. Oh, those are much cooler. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Ranked mode gives the players a way to queue up for more competitive games against similarly skilled players with higher stakes. Each season, you'll be able to climb the ranks and see how far you can go. We have Initiate, which is Brick. Oh man, that's brutal. Seeker is Stone, Acolyte Iron, Sentinel Bronze, Mystic Silver, Ritualist Gold, Emissary is Platinum, Oracle is Diamond, then there's Phantom, Ascendant, and Eternus. They seem to really like the idea of Phantom, Ascendant, Eternus being their top 3 ranks, which is pretty cool and pretty okay in my mind. Updated ranks and badges. Each rank has 6 sub-ranks. There's Obscurus, which is uncalibrated, Initiate, Seeker, Acolyte, Sentinel, Mystic, Ritualist, Emissary, Oracle, and then there seems to be like a little break here before Phantom, Ascendant, Eternus. I wonder if there's going to be some unique stuff for that. We'll see. To be eligible to queue for ranked mode, you must have at least 60 wins in the standard mode. That's a lot of wins, but I kind of get it. To ensure higher quality games, ranked mode expects you have a solid understanding of the heroes you play in it. So the mode only allows you to pick heroes that you have won at least 15 games with in standard. This is a little harsh to start. They might roll it down to like 10. But personal opinion, as someone who's played other MOBAs like Smite, where they basically required you to play more or less 5 games with a hero in unranked, or God for Smite, before you could play it in ranked because of how they're like, each god you played in Smite had like basically its own experience bar, and one game typically gave you like 1/5 of your first level, so you basically have to play 5 games with the god before you could take it into ranked. This is making you win 15 games, which is a little more strict, but Valve has always been a little more strict with their ranked modes in my experience and knowledge. You must have at least 3 heroes unlocked to have a valid roster size to queue with. Ranked mode has seasons, with the first season starting today, Thursday, July 30th. Oh god, I guess I better get this video out today. Oh well, guess I'm going to be double uploading, lol. After which the following season will begin. Oh, it ends on October 7th, after which the following season. So the current season goes till October. This is probably because they want this season to be basically a big testing ground to see how this version of ranked works. At the conclusion of a season, the highest rank you achieved will be permanently saved in your rank history page. Future rank seasons will likely have longer durations with splits in between, breaks within the season where rank adjustments are made, as well as recency requirements on the heroes played. So basically, they probably won't let you, if you played 15 games and won 15 games with Vindicta in 2024, sorry, I said the wrong words, but anyways, they're probably not going to let you immediately queue into the next season of ranked with them if you haven't played them since then. Which is kind of okay because heroes change a lot in this game. I hope it isn't you have to re-win certain amounts to be able to play the heroes again, and it's just you have to replay as them. But maybe it's just you have to get a win with them again, but we'll find out, right? As the season starts, everyone will enter a calibration phase for 8 games. That's a lot of games, but we'll see how it goes. All players will have a soft reset of their prior rank, maintaining some history of your previous performance relative to other players to help seed you initially into calibration games. Players can only exit calibration at a max rank of Oracle 6. You cannot basically hard go into Phantom Ascendant or Eternus right out the rip. You will only be able to go into Oracle 6 to start. Interesting. I feel like a lot of people are going to get really crushed up at Oracle 6 at the start of each season. We'll see how that goes. Another interesting line here, you cannot be in a party during calibration matches, which is really interesting. Ranked mode will currently only allow for solo or duo parties. If you are a duo party, both players must be at most one rank away, Mystic and Ritualist, so like one rank away. So like Oracle players can play with Emissary and Phantom players, but that's like it. However, Eternus players can only queue with another Eternus player as long as they were within 3 sub-ranks of each other. So you have to be pretty close if you're queuing up an Eternus, which kind of makes sense. There's other similar things like this in other ranked MOBAs. This isn't super surprising. We recognize that the party size and rank spread limits might be too restrictive, but we want to start off this way and then adjust in the future as needed. I don't blame them for starting really restrictive. It's easy to lean back away from restrictions. It's much harder to implement new ones without alienating your player base. A new ranked hub in the Hideout includes all the information about the current and past ranked seasons going forwards and allows you to access global leaderboards and your rank history. You'll have an item in the Hideout to commemorate your season's highest rank achievement when the season is over. I like that they're making the Hideout be personalized more and more and more. It's quite cool. So far, all I have in there is the thing from like the last winter event where I barely played. Rank points. When you win or lose a game, you'll see your rank points update with a visible progress bar after each match. Each win-loss gives you plus or minus 250 points, though these numbers can vary slightly depending on the expectations. The matchmaker had from that game or while on win streaks. So it might be like you're winning a lot, so you get a little less. To progress to the next sub-rank, you need to collect 1,000 rank points for each promotion. However, the final sub-rank before entering a new rank requires 2,000 points. Oh my goodness. So in other words, you have to win 4 games in a row to promote in the first place, and then 8 in a row to fully rank up to the next thing. Jeez, that's going to be tough. I get it. I understand that they're trying to start strict and maybe lean back, but man, that looks kind of tough considering we don't actually know how much this is yet. So it could be nicer than I'm making it out to be. So I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt, but that is still a lot. That 2k points is 8 wins to up a rank. That's a lot. But anyways, moving on. Once you reach Eternus 1, there will be no longer a fixed amount of points needed to progress from one sub-rank to the other, as the thresholds will be dynamically updated daily to segment the sub-ranks on a percentile basis. So, okay. So Eternus is now going to be less of just ranking up and down like it currently is, which feels weird to a lot of players in the higher ranks, and is now just, you're this percent better than the rest of the game, you go in Eternus 1. You're this percent better, you go in Eternus 5. And so you'll be going up and down based on how good you are inside of Eternus. There's also a rank loss protection while playing in ranked. You have 5 games of loss protection when on the boundary. So you have to lose 5 in a row to D-rank from a major rank down. Which, to be completely honest, I think that's more than fair enough. If you're at a boundary and you go on a 5-game loss streak, it sucks, but that does in fact make sense. As someone who will occasionally go on really terrible loss streaks, I will probably be frustrated by this in the moment, but with a level head and not having played the ranked mode for a few days, I understand. Sub-rank boundaries, you have a 2-game loss protection thing, which is pretty okay. Losing 2 games to go down from Mystic 3 to Mystic 2 is pretty okay. It means that if you lose like a game, if you lose like 2 games and then you drop down, you can probably just kind of be like, all right, I'm going to call it for a bit because I did go on that little loss streak. Or however you want to look at it. Entering a match in hero selection. We think the ability to queue with a very specific hero in mind is an important and popular feature with most players. Even more so in ranked, where it is critical that everyone has a good understanding of how to pilot the selected hero. By having hero selections done in advance of the game formation, we are able to utilize the matchmaker on the back end to mix and match players from the larger queue to meet everyone's preference. such that players are able to get the hero they want while also allowing us the ability to create a reasonable team composition. Maybe they are team comp balancing a bit better. Part of this update, we've done some improvements on the matchmaker's ability to create solid team composition. Oh, okay. Well, I asked and answered. This is also something we expect to improve over time as the player pool grows and as more heroes are released. The matchmaker will have more opportunities to create balanced matches with good team comps, while also increasing the chance you get the hero in your highest priority. This feels really good to read because it shows that Valve is listening and they know that team comps are an important thing and they know that we are attached to heroes more so than anything else, and they're going to do their best to matchmake you on the hero you want while putting you in okay team compositions, which is good. However, we also recognize that even long-term, the matchmaker won't always be able to do a great job at this depending on who's on the queue at a specific time, especially at ranks or regions where the queue is much thinner. As such, with this rank update, we are introducing the ability to change your hero in the new pre-game phase. Huh? Once you enter a new ranked match, you will see a breakdown of the ranks of all players in the game, then you will enter a pre-game waiting area where you can control your hero. During this time, you can choose to change your hero to any other hero that hasn't been selected as long as you have that hero unlocked for ranked play. The primary purpose of this law play is a quick way to adjust their team's hero composition to make any improvements they see fit, not intended to primarily a counterpicking feature as much as just a quick way to improve your team's general hero composition. It will be used to counterpick in higher lobbies and in the sweatier lobbies. But I think this is them saying, we know that this might happen, but we know this, we don't want this to be what's happening, which is good. It means that they might have systems in place in the future to potentially prevent this from existing. Also making it easier for players to have the preferred, most comfortable heroes and are ranked by default. As such, there isn't a live update of what heroes the enemy team is changing into. Ah, perfect. If you end up swapping into a hero that the enemy team is also happen to swap into before you, you'll get an error and then be able to select a different hero. So this is like literally a time-sensitive feature, which is cool. Otherwise, you'll be given that hero. Each player can only swap into a new hero once. One set of counterpick if you want to counterpick with it, but know that they can do the same thing based on what your team comp had been. You can also use the new pregame waiting area to adjust your starting lanes. You won't be able to zipline swap after this. Possibly disabled until 2 minutes after the game fully starts. So make sure to do any adjustments you want, either your roster or lanes during the new pre-game waiting area. Interesting. I cannot wait to play this. Additionally, in the ranked mode, the number of total heroes banned in a given game has increased from 2 to 3, and the algorithm has been improved. Yay, more bans! Abandons and penalties. You cannot queue for ranked if you have any active sanctions on your account. Low priority or comms banned. Let's go! Hopefully that means that people who use very unkind words in ranked will get banned out and be unable to queue for it. If someone abandons before 5, the game will be marked as safe to leave and voided for all players except the leaver and their party. The game will count as a loss for the leaver and their party, and the abandoning player will receive leaver penalties. Interesting. So, this is a little abusable. It is, especially for people who want to smurf. But it is better for the game's health as a whole, in my opinion, that it means that if something happens pre-5 minutes, the game is voided for everyone except for the person who wasn't there, which is pretty good. If a player abandons after 5 minutes, the player will receive leaver penalties and their party will have the game count as a loss. Other players on the abandoning player's team will have their game voided and are safe to leave without punishments. However, if they stay and win the game will be counted as a win. If all players on the abandoning team leave, the game will automatically end and be counted as a win for the opposing team. This is nice. You used to have to forcibly push through and still end the game normally. It was a little annoying. If you're on the opposing non-abandoning team, you will play the game out as normal. However, if a player on that team abandons as well, they'll be penalized just like the first abandoning player party, and the above rule kicks in for the opposing team now as well. And in this case, none of the remaining players on either team will have the game count as a loss, and you'll only get a win if your team finishes and wins. So if someone else leaves in response to someone on the other team leaving, it's more or less being back to a normal game. Leaver penalties start with queue timeouts and escalate to increasing amounts of low prio games. That's nice. Leaderboard. This update includes a few changes to the requirements to appear on the leaderboards. For the global leaderboards, the game count requirement in the last 30 days has increased from 50 to 75. So if you want a one trick, you got a one trick hard. The specific hero leaderboards, the game count requirements on that hero in the last 30 days has increased from 20 to 30. You got a one trick hard. There's a new requirement for the hero specific leaderboards. You must have at least 100 lifetime wins to be considered. Oh, this counts me out of like all my favorite heroes because I don't have that many games played because I'm not that intense about this game, but maybe I will now that ranked system is a lot better. But anyways, roll out. This new system is live right now. However, we expect the next week or so to be very rocky as the ranked matchmaking pool will start off very thin and most players not having the unlock requirements done yet. This will have a significant effect on queue times and match quality until things stabilize. It will also take some time for players to calibrate and move into their appropriate spots. Be closely monitoring the matchmaker during this time, but we want players to be aware that both queue times, match quality, and team composition quality need some time to ramp up. Given the large rewrite involved with this update, we will also expect them to take a couple days to iron out bugs. We finally have true ranked queue and stuff. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I will probably be streaming this very often now that we have true ranked stuff going on. I'm very excited. I'm very happy. This is a wonderful change. Thank you, Yoshi. Thank you, Valve team. This is great. Thanks for watching. Hope to catch you all on the next one, all that stuff. I want to go play some Deadlock. Bye!